This is Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
All right, Jeff and Jeremy here. We got Mr. Skin on. It's time to talk nudity, anatomy. The 25th annual Nude Anatomy Awards. 25th annual. 25 years celebrating the tatas, the TTs, the nip slips, the, you've got all the best terms, Mr. Skin. Welcome back, man. Good to talk to you.
Yeah, some of the terms I don't know if I'll be able to say on your show, but yeah, some of the awards I may not be able to say, but I will say what's fun about these anatomy awards, and when I hear you guys say 25 years, it just blows me away that this has been my job literally full time for 25 years already. But the fun thing about the Anatomy Awards is, yes, we have our best breasts and best butt and all that, which is part of our 40 awards we give every year. But for me, the thrill is finding this wild and crazy nudity in movies and television, not only from the U.S., which you guys probably missed a lot of it, but also from all over the world that you had no chance of seeing. And it's a way to curate this really interesting, crazy, wild content and put it in to our Anatomy Awards, and there's a lot of fun ones this year, no question about it.
At this point, do you make up more categories each year than the ones that are already standing on the books?
Well, here's how my rule goes. There's certain things that happen every year, like Breast Picture and Lifetime Achievement and Best Butt and all that. That we do every year. But then things happen that I think, oh my God, I got to put this in my Anatomy Awards. Let's create an award for what just happened, and you'll see a lot of that in our 40 categories. And by the way, this is all free at the front page of MrSkin.com if anyone wants to check it out. And my team put a lot of time and effort into
tough work.
These 40 categories.
It's very tough work.
Tough work, but someone had to do it. Right?
There's a great video on the website, and you could can you share that video like with friends via email? Yeah. Okay, or you could at least send a link or something like that. Might brighten up a buddy's day. Okay, yeah. So let's get into it. Let's start with the slip. All right, and Jenna Ortega. So I was sitting around one day. I think it was a Sunday. My wife was off with her friends getting her nails done or doing something like that, and I'm like, oh, there's that Jenna Ortega. I have no idea who she is. Wasn't she like a monster or something like? What was her deal? What was?
No, she's a star of the Netflix show Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
You think of the Addams Family.
The
Wednesday Addams, and then she's also in the Scream horror franchise. And later this year, she's going to be Winona Ryder's daughter in Beetlejuice 2. So she's very popular. In fact, she's probably one of the top 2 most searched actresses of our website in 2023. But in March of last year, she went on that show Hot Ones, which is a YouTube show hosted by Sean Evans that's become really popular, where he interviews celebrities and they have to eat hot wings while they're being interviewed, and then if they make it towards the end, they can promote whatever they're promoting. And it's a very fun show. And she was on the show on March 2nd. And I don't know what she was thinking, but she must have forgot to wear a bra that day because she had the nip slip heard around the world. Yeah, and it blew up the internet, and it was one of the most searched things at MrSkin.com during the year. It was pretty crazy, and it was just a nip slip, but it's a Jenna Ortega who's never done a nude scene.
Yeah, so I watched this movie, Finest Kind. It's got the guy from Men in Black with the pock face. What's his name? Tommy Lee Jones. I was just trying to think of the actor. She's in a movie with Tommy Lee Jones. It's on Paramount Network, so I don't know if you've seen her or not. He's a fisherman, and anyways, she's in the movie. But the only reason I watched the movie was I'm like, oh yeah, she has this romantic scene in there. I'm like, let's see what this is all about. And then nothing, right? She's got clothes on the whole time. I'm like, And then here you are, Mr. Skin. You found the nip slip from the Hot Wings show, or Hot Ones. Jeff, have you seen this Hot Wings show?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I have.
Gordon Ramsay on it was hilarious. He goes into the bathroom after having all this hot sauce on his hands, and you would think, being a cook, he would know to wash his hands first.
Oh.
He was on fire.
I didn't see that. That's great. I didn't know that.
I noticed that Heather Graham made the role again. I think she's been on many, many times. How many nude scenes has she done over her career? I mean, I hate to put you on the spot.
Well, no, not at all. Heather Graham, by the way, won our Best Over 50 nude scene of the year, and she's been naked 11 times in her career. And don't forget, like, Boogie Nights is now about not 30 years old, but it's getting close. And she was nude in Boogie Nights, and she did this movie Suitable Flesh, where she was topless. And what a great thing. She still looks amazing. Those Golden Grams have never looked better. So very good for Heather Graham. Yeah.
I'm always amazed. Like she'll crop up every once in a while when we do these interviews with you, and then I'm like, wow, she still looks like that.
Yeah, she's over 50 and looks fantastic, like a 25-year-old. Really great. It's really
insane.
Great.
Best Dutch oven. Gina? No. This is a new category this year, right?
Yes, we have never had that, but again, that's the fun of what we do is we see these nude scenes and then try to come up with an idea. So Shailene Woodley was in a show called TV show called Three Women, and in the scene she's and it was in the 5th episode of this first season, and she's under the covers fully nude and then kind of flips the covers up, and we were trying to think of, like, what should we call this? And we came up with Dutch Ovengina. So that's what the award is. But it's full nudity from Shailene Woodley, who is a pretty great actress and pretty popular one, too.
Yeah. Have you ever been... So I saw Jennifer Lawrence. I see that she got the best full frontal, which is that's a huge award for you every year in the Skin Anatomy. I mean, that's like that's like best actress, right?
Yeah, and it's also was when I did my top 10 nude scenes of the year last year. Jennifer Lawrence in No Hard Feelings was number one because not only is she an A-list actress standing there completely nude, she did all her own stunts in this very funny scene with kung fu and flipping people over her back and headlocks and stuff. It's an amazing scene for an A-list actress to do, and to me it's one of the 10 greatest nude scenes of all time. It entered my top 10. That's how good it was this year.
Have you ever been disappointed by somebody that you wanted to see nude for a long time, and then finally they do a nude scene, and then you're like, oh, it's a bit of a letdown?
You know what? That's a tough question because it's more about we're always kind of like excited when someone does their first nude scene. I'm trying to think of, and I'm not saying this to be like Mr. Nice Guy, but we're just happy. Like, even if Kathy Bates does a nude scene, which she has, we're like happy about it because my thing was always like, if I start saying, well, boy, that doesn't turn me on, that's not a good scene, it's like, there's some guy out there that's so excited that Kathy Bates did a nude scene, let's not rain on his parade. So I've always had that philosophy, and that's why we always celebrate nude scenes.
Yeah, a little something for everyone, right?
Philosophy. Yeah.
I don't know
no
anybody.
Kathy Bates nudity in this year, if you were worried. So.
Yeah, even Chubby Chasers buy subscriptions too, right?
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
Well, there's something for everybody. There's no bias here. MrSkin.com. Check it out, the Anatomy Awards. Always great catching up with you, Skin.
Yeah, it is always great. I've been on your guys' show so many years, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
We've been talking to you longer than we've been working at this radio station, over 20 years, so this is fantastic.
I know. But the problem with us is we have longer interviews before I come on the air. We're just talking on the side.
All right, man. We'll take care, and we'll catch up with you next time.
You got it. Thanks a lot.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.